Please welcome to the stage Jerry Lorenzo and Michael Phillips.
Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is...
Yeah, so I was trying to become like a sports agent. My dad was in baseball and knew I didn't have the skills to play on the field, but was hoping with an MBA I could get a job, in the front office somewhere or end up, doing something around the business of sport because I love sports so much. All that being said, I did get a job with the Dodgers at a grad school. Shortly after that, I took a director of marketing for a sports agency position in Chicago. Went back to Chicago for a little bit. Came back to LA after that. The agency got dissolved. It was bought out by a couple other agencies, and was starting to begin to do things for myself and work for myself. And at that time, I was throwing parties in LA. And a lot of the higher clientele that kind of had money to spend or whatnot, they were all brand owners. And this was kind of the age of streetwear starting to become a thing. And I just really, whether it was narcissistically or instinctually, really felt, hey, if, I feel like I can dress better or present myself better than these guys that have brands, I should be able to kind of figure this out and do this on my own. Again, I was throwing parties, and which is why I go by Jerry Lorenzo.
Just give it up, give it up, give it up. A couple of real key points in what you just said. Your path wasn't linear; it's dynamic, right? The ups and downs, the things you had to learn, the steps you had to take. The key part of that is the belief you had in what you were doing, right? And that it wasn't insurmountable. Because oftentimes I think we look at speed bumps as roadblocks. If you're in your car and you see a speed bump, you pretty much just gonna go over it. You're not gonna stop. And as business owners, we can't see those speed bumps as stop signs or roadblocks or something that's insurmountable. Fear of God is such a timeless brand. So much so, fashion moves fast, man. But fear of God seems timeless. And you just talked about convictions, and I want to drill deeper on that. But how do you build something eternal in an industry that is obsessed with a moment?
There is clearly a reason that it's necessary to have faith and to be grounded in faith. And, the great prophet Meek Mill, I always, he said, fear of God on me, all I got is faith. And I'm just like, exactly. That's all we have. No matter how well my business does, it's also fragile. The only thing I really have is faith. Wow. That's the same thing I had when I started, before I made a t-shirt, I had faith. and a vision and a conviction of what it could be. That's the only thing I really have today. And I think it's the one thing that both grounds you and directs you. And to operate without it would just be so overwhelming. I wouldn't know what to start. I wouldn't know what to do. I wouldn't know where to look for answers. I wouldn't know where to look for direction. The world is moving so quick. It's moving so fast. Retail stores are opening and closing, and, people are using AI to, create pieces that look just like yours and throw campaigns that feel exactly like that. You know what I mean? It's too much, to even try to attempt to gather all of that information to try and do something that's just humanly intelligent to have impact. I just don't think it's possible. And so for me, it's just the only way is through faith.
Yeah. We're covering a lot of ground right now. We talked a little bit about marketing tactically. I want to talk to you about partnerships and distribution because you've had some amazing collaborations and partnerships with Adidas, Essentials, and all of it becoming global phenomenons, right? What is your decision-making process behind your partners, and how do you scale that distribution-wise? Chairman always says, when our partners get better, our business will get better, right? And I think partnership is essential to business. And so what is some of your decision-making processes behind some of the brands you partner with?
I think my decision is, is this relationship putting me closer to like where God has intended me to go? And sometimes a large partner, their capabilities and their industry know-how, their reach, their acreage, so to speak, in the world, which can be such a good thing, doesn't always mean that it's the right thing.
Yeah. How'd you bounce back?
Man, just got back on my knees and, why am I letting this get to me in that way instead of getting what I need to get from this bad situation? Right? From the situation, I got a reaction came out instead of a learning. Instead of, they're showing you who.
Say that again. I can't let you slide on that one. Please say that again. A reaction came out.
Yeah, a reaction came out instead of me learning something.
Oh, that's good.
And it's like, I need to understand what they're showing me so that I can move accordingly instead of being so frustrated with what I'm being shown. And
that's good.
Yeah, I mean, and I think, again, I'm still in bars from Oprah last night, but, it really is about all of the people that you put in place as a business owner, and your job is to have a vision. It's your team's responsibility to then add dimensions and layers to that vision and make it a larger and a bigger thing than what you could envision on your own. But at the same time, you have to day in and day out take responsibility for everything. That what you feel that you're supposed to do becomes a conviction, becomes a belief that's immovable, becomes something that no man can stop. Once that becomes that concrete, then obstacles and things that are in your way to stop you just become lessons, and you just continue to go.